So today Matt and I headed up north to visit Matt's mum and dad, who actually live in a small village just outside of Rotherham, but are currently in the process of downsizing and moving to a lovely new property. The journey from door to door is about 130 miles, and in the end it took us about 2.5 hours to get there, due to some roadworks on the M1, but all in all it was a fairly good journey, and we will be travelling back later on the same day as well. So we're almost there now, and I'm going to put my camera in my bag so that I can be fully present during the visit, but I will get a few photos to show you later on. Okay, so we're almost home. I think it's about 40 minutes away now, isn't it? And we've decided to be very naughty and stop at, what is it, Burger King. Don't even know where we stopped. We were looking for a drive-through McDonald's but couldn't find one on the motorway, so decided to stop here at the services. So we're actually going to eat in the car because it was pretty packed inside.
It was absolutely heaving, yeah.
I didn't feel like sitting outside with all the fumes from the traffic going by. So we are sitting in the car, but I have promised Matt that I'll be extra careful with any fallout.
Any serviettes.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll eat this and then we will finish the journey home, and I cannot wait to get in. So it's Monday morning, it's about 8:30. We set out at 8 o'clock just to try and get Woody out before it gets too hot, as it's going to be 31 today, which is about 90. So not as hot as it has been, but a little bit too hot for Woody still. But yeah, you can feel it sort of trying to break through now. It's getting warmer as we're walking. But yeah, just slept so well last night. Slept really deep after all of that travelling. And I think we got in at about 8:30 last night after that stop at Burger King, which I think was a mistake. I think it was a little bit too late to eat something like that. I could sort of feel it sitting high up on my stomach. But yeah, I'll get back to my healthy eating today and exercise. But yeah, I was really looking forward to coming out this morning, taking a breather. There's actually a lot sort of going on this week, and I've also got a busy week of work ahead. So tomorrow is my blood test to see if my ferritin has gone up. I don't actually mind the blood test itself, but I'm always a little bit anxious about getting the results through. And then Friday is the dentist. And again, I'm not too worried about that. although it's not something I sort of look forward to, you know. I'm sure I'm going to have to book a hygienist appointment as well, which again I don't mind. I'm not sort of scared of the dentist or anything. But yeah, it's not my favourite place to visit. But with a lot of sort of visit and time out of work, it's sort of putting me behind again. So I do feel a little bit anxious about getting on top of it all. But yeah, I will get there. I always do. I've got quite a few Etsy parcels to do when we get in. But one thing I do want to show you later on, when we were at Matt's, because his mum and dad are moving, so they're moving into a smaller place, there were a lot of sort of packaging cases all around, and they'd sorted out a few bits and pieces they thought we might like. And I got that lovely blue and white teapot from Matt's mum and a little blue and white jug for the dresser. And they also gave us a lovely head that Matt had sculptured from clay many, many years ago when he was actually at art college, and I've always loved it. So that will take pride of place on the bookcase, so I must show you that. But also a big folder full of Matt's artwork from around that time as well. I did say to Matt, oh, you must show everybody on camera. I think he's a little bit nervous about doing that, so I'll show you. He's given me permission to show it all. But there's some really beautiful pieces in there, dating back to from when he was sort of 17 years old. So I'll show you that as well. But yeah, yesterday was a lovely day. Only a short visit, because we really did have to get back for work. But next time we might be able to go for a little bit longer. See the new house. But yeah, motorway travelling isn't a favourite of mine. Matt normally does all of the driving, because I don't like driving on motorways anymore either. But yeah, it's just, there's not a lot to see, is there? But in that, definitely sort of trying to take some footage and spot anything interesting really did help the journey. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that montage at the beginning. But yeah, Matt and Woody are far ahead, so I'll stop filming and I'll catch them up and I'll pop back in again later today. So I promised earlier that I would show you the things that I came back from up north with, and this is the first of those, and that beautiful head that Matt sculptured when he was at art college. And isn't it wonderful? I'm going to very carefully turn it round. This has survived so many years, I would hate to do any damage to it, but let me go all the way around. And ever since I first saw this at Matt's house, I've always loved it. I just think it's incredible, look. And it's got a glaze on it as well. There it is from the front. I'll just go around to that side as well. It's just wonderful, isn't it? And to think that he did that at just 17 years old. And that is now going to live on this bookcase. But I may need to change things around a little bit. So that's how it's looking so far. Usually that little lamp I put on there just as a bit of light in the background when we're doing the coffee and chats. So that doesn't necessarily live on there all the time. And I am going to be moving that radio as well. And I think I said before, when we sort of redo the kitchen, I would like that back in there, just as a nice sort of little piece in there, because it doesn't actually play very well anymore. It's really crackly. You can't really get a very good signal on it. So it's just nice as an ornament. But I think that looks really nice on there. But like I say, in a different position. So whether I would have that on that central shelf, I like really to have the taller bits in the centre and then coming out in that sort of pyramid from each side. So I'm going to have to jiggle that around a bit. I also now want to show you the things that Mumsy gave me for the dresser. And the first of those is this lovely teapot. Isn't that a lovely shape though? It's not overly large. Let's probably a sort of medium teapot, but just a really sort of lovely pattern on it, a pattern that I haven't really got on the dresser so far. So really love that. And then this beautiful jug as well. And I've been looking for a sort of different shaped jug for quite a while. I've been looking in the sort of second-hand shops and things that we go to. So really love that. Got these beautiful flowers on it. I don't know if there's a maker's mark on the bottom there. What does that say? Am I the wrong way round? Oh, I can't see that without my glasses on. I can't even see if it's the right way around. That's really lovely anyway. And then the other thing I actually forgot to mention was these lovely silver napkin rings. And I don't actually use napkin rings. I usually just sort of use serviettes at the table. But now I'm going to have to get some lovely napkins, aren't I? But look at those, aren't they lovely? And that's silver napkin rings. I think they'd be really nice at Christmas as well. So that's those. I'm going to have to find a place for those in the cupboard. But also, the same as with the bookcase, I'm actually going to have to sort of jiggle things around on here a bit. So quite happy with the sort of top and second shelf, but maybe I could fit some of the new smaller bits onto that third shelf. And then I feel that that bottom bit's getting a little bit messy as well. I haven't got a plant for the pot there, so I need to get something to go in there. That teapot is actually quite tall, so maybe I could get that, or that coffee pot there, I could get that maybe onto the top shelf where I've got a bit more room. And, you know, put the teapot up so it's sort of standing in front of a plate or something. Don't really know what to do with that bottom bit. But yeah, I think that will be another fun job to do here in the vlog, just sort of have a bit of a change around, and it's probably due for another clean anyway. Always sort of have a flick around with the duster, but I like to sort of completely take it all off every so often and actually clean the pieces as well. So that's due, but it won't be this week. I'll have to put that on hold for a little while. So I do still want to show you Matt's artwork, but first of all, I want to show you this footage that I took earlier, and I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing at first. Now, I did actually at first think the magpie was attacking the deer, but he is actually just picking the flies or the ticks out of her fur. And in a moment she turns round and you can see that she's not really bothered at all. And I'm sure if she was bothered, that, you know, she would have bucked or kicked him off or moved away quickly. So I don't think she minds. And we do actually notice that a lot of the time she's flicking and scratching and flicking her ears because there are a lot of flies about out there at the moment. And I thought that bit was funny when he just actually slipped off her back because she's so shiny, and I think their coats are quite oily as well. But you can see here she doesn't seem to be minding it at all. She's carrying on eating as he's sort of picking away. And at one point I did actually see something sort of flick out of his beak as well. So whether that was a tick, I don't know. Now I've seen at the zoo, you see the camels, don't you? And the crows sort of tend to stand on their backs and pick all the bits out of their fur. So that's obviously what was happening here. But it was just so incredible to see in the back garden. So I said yesterday that I was going to show you Matt's art folder, but that Matt wasn't going to be on camera, but I've persuaded him to do this with me so that he can give you a little bit of history about each of the drawings you're about to see. Okay, so let's have a look. So here is the folder.
I was probably 15 or probably 15 when I got this folder from school. So it has got some older artwork in here as well from when I was younger.
So you've got some other bits and pieces in there as well.
Some old posters and things. Some of these are from when I was probably 12, something like that.
That's a good one.
Susie So. First concert I went to see was Susie and the Banshees. Powerhouse. Pete Murphy.
Lots of different mediums you're using.
Yeah, use different things, yeah. strange drawings. My old car. There's loads in here, aren't there?
Were these for school then, or?
They were basically, we were like given studies to do, like homework, draw a face or a head or whatever, and then a lot of the time we were encouraged to just draw anything we wanted in our books, and then you know, the teacher would look at them and give you critiques, etc. But I think I was probably about 12 when I did that, 'cause it was from 2000 AD. I know that one's an old one. Yeah. All sorts of different bits. Iggy Pop. Billy Idol again. I was a big Billy Idol fan. Bit of guitar tablature there as well.
Madonna.
Paul King. That's Whitby Abbey. The old heroin advert, do you remember?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
What made you want to draw that?
I think it was like a homework study, you know, take a advert and, you know, draw things. It was just little things. The teachers give us different things to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, a poster. Yeah, it was just different bits and pieces, you know, and then we just did things on the back. We did a life study. We had like 3 different life models, and that was one of the guys that came and did it. Garfield.
The animal.
Yeah. Clay Grogan.
So were these all from sort of Smash Hits magazine?
Smash
and
Hits
things like
magazines, things like that. Hot Rod magazines, things like that. Motorbike magazines, different studies and different bits. I think that was from Alien magazine, like a book,
that? Yeah.
something like that. My car again. These little drawings. And this one was, I saw this in a pub in Rotherham, I think it was just that design. And it was a famous picture, I think they used to have it all over time, very sort of 80s, and I copied it and wanted to make it look like a negative.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it's just a study of, we had like a study of just do eyes, and that was Michael Hutchins from NXS, just his eye.
I can see it now, you say it.
Yeah, that's, I think I drew that when I was probably about 11. Just a little
What
piece
is
of-
that paper you're using?
It's like
It's like a tracing paper,
it's not,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's not a tracer paper. It's like a film, a plastic film.
Yeah.
So you can get that sort of. My mum used to have it on the wall, didn't she? And you get like a translucent look to it.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah. Billy Idol again.
You liked the black and white, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to like all that sort of thing. It was, you know, it was quick to do. Dragon. And this was one of the covers of my actual art book from school. We used to get the Smith's books. That was the cover of it. Big Dungeons and Dragons fan.
More eyes.
Yeah. Just studies and things. Guitar, even back then, like guitars. Paul King. A lot of these are very unfinished, you know, some I didn't finish.
Yeah.
See what that one is? Still haven't never finished it. I like to draw the silhouette type. You know these sort of music ones. Power Station. I start sketches and then, you know, never really finish them. nice. Very,
83.
Very early one, that, yeah. U2 Boy album. I think that was from 2018 as well. Big sci-fi fan. Singing from the Associates. Like their music as well. Another study we did at school. Marvel. Judge Dredd. That was a study for a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And these ones at college. It's from Robert Palmer's Addicted to Love. Again, never finished their hair.
Some of them look quite good unfinished though.
Yeah,
It sort of adds to the style,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Thing is, I used to have so much going on, I think I wanted to just do more and do more. So I'd get, I've done that so far, and then I want something else, you know.
You do when you're young though, don't you?
Yeah. And a little, I think it was a perspective thing we did. Again at school.
We used to like technical drawing, didn't
I
we?
did a lot of technical drawing, and perspective. We did all perspective as well in art class as well. In A-level art, we used to study all the old masters and things like that, and look at all the perspectives and things. Yeah. So yeah, it was good fun. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing your artwork with us from your younger days. I'm glad you've got that folder now, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I was really surprised when they brought it down. It was quite emotional, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Quite an emotional day, really. But yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Well, they're proud. They're proud of you doing your art. They wouldn't have got rid of it.
Yeah.
So, whilst we were up north visiting Matt's parents, Matt's dad very kindly gave us this hedge trimmer, which he's no longer going to need in their new place. And Matt is about to have a little go with it. Well, he's had a bit of a practice already, but he's just actually now putting the, like, strap holder thing on.
This is quite heavy.
Yeah. Do you want to just step a little bit closer and we can just have a look at it? Looks like a mean machine.
Yeah, it extends as well, so you can get quite high up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Battery, get two batteries with it, 20 volt.
Step forward a little bit because it's not all on. No, that way.
Alright.
That's it.
Yeah. You hold it there, that's adjustable as well.
Yeah.
So quite well balanced, it's just a bit heavy.
Looks brand new.
Yeah, it doesn't use much. Oh, my dad looks after things. So I'll just do a bit over there, if you like.
Okay, go on then.
Yeah, I think it's going to take some getting used to, because it's quite heavy. But I think you make light work of this, really light work of it, just get it all nice and neat and trimmed, and then just get clearing it all up. I think you'll agree that looks a lot neater. Trimmed up quite high on the Leylandii side there as well. The worst part was actually cleaning up all the bits afterwards. That's what took the longest. But that hedge cutter made really light work of this job. I'm really pleased with it. I also did some other bits in the garden. I trimmed around the orange blossom, just to actually give it more of a curved, rounded look, more of a ball shape. I think it looks really nice now. I also opened up the little gap a little bit more. Still a little bit of trimming to do just here. I think I might just level that off a little bit more, just give it more of a entrance through. And then the orange blossom is actually growing through on the other side, but I want that to thicken up before I trim any more of that. I also trimmed the Leyland eyes a little bit around the coffee house, trimmed that back. And I want to trim a lot more of these branches back here, because we've got, I think we said before, we've got plans for this area here. We were going to do a full patio and a gazebo, but we may be changing the plans on that. We don't know exactly yet, but that's all for probably next year. So yeah, the garden is sort of getting there, trimmed a little bit there as well. Yeah, so that hedge trimmer has made these big trimming jobs quite easy.
So in a moment I want to take you out into the garden and have a look at those cuttings that I propagated in that little extra video that I did. So I want to show you how they're coming along. But I thought I would just tell you about my latest blood test results. So I think I mentioned on Monday that I had my blood test this week to check my iron and ferritin levels. And I don't actually mind the blood test. I'm not afraid of needles at all, but I'm always a little bit anxious when I'm waiting for the results to come through. So because I've got the NHS app, I do actually see the results quite quickly. So as soon as the lab update your record, it pops up on the app. So if you haven't got the app, I really do recommend it, because then you don't have to wait about for phone calls or anything. You can see the results directly. And I think especially if you're like me and you get a little bit anxious waiting for results, it's really good just to be able to look at them. You can see your record, you can compare them to past readings and things like that, or past results rather. So anyway, the results were there the next day. The full blood count popped up first thing in the morning and that was all fine. But I had to then wait until quite late on in the evening for the iron and ferritin results to update. So I am still anemic due to low ferritin, which is really annoying because I've been taking the iron tablets for quite a few months now. And over the last sort of 5 years, on and off throughout that time. But luckily the ferritin has gone up by quite a lot. So I don't know if you're aware of any of these numbers or reference ranges or anything, but your ferritin should be between 30 and 300. And mine is now at 29, but it did drop down to 14. So over the last 6 months, it's risen by that 15. But because I'm just under, just by that 1 point, I will still need to keep taking the tablets. And I think anyway, even when you do get back up to where you should be, you continue taking them anyway to sort of build it up a little bit more. I think that's how it works. So very annoyingly, just still under by that 1 point. But the good news is that it is rising, and my iron stores are also now really good. And your ferritin is actually like a little a storage unit, is how it was explained to me. So once your iron starts getting back on track, the sort of overflow then goes into your ferritin and into your sort of storage area. So that's what's happening with me at the moment. My iron is going up nicely, and then it's just flowing slowly, trickling into my ferritin stores. So we've got to get that ferritin back up before I start seeing like really good results. And one of the things that low ferritin affects is your hair. And I know we've spoken about this many times before, but I did notice probably over the last month, I think, that where I was sort of seeing some improvement, it did tend to sort of take a step backwards. And I noticed a few more hairs coming out in the brush, and also, you know, looking just really sort of thin on one side and a lot drier as well. Whereas I really thought I was on a sort of upward journey, you know, it was getting better. It didn't look as dry. It looked a little bit fuller. So yeah, that's taken a little bit of a step back. But with your hair, whereas people sort of think that what you do that day affects it, there is actually like a 3-month delay. So if you notice any changes in your hair, it's probably due to something that was going on in your body 3 months before. So at that point, my sort of ferritin could have taken a bit of a dip, and then the ferritin has started going up again. So hopefully now, fingers crossed, we are on that sort of upward journey and the ferritin will go up, and then within the sort of coming months I will see my hair start to improve again. But it's just such a long and frustrating journey, both with the iron and with hair, because obviously hair takes so long to grow. So that's why I'm sort of wearing it up a little bit more lately. And the reason for that really is because I'm trying to stay away from the hairdryer altogether. So I washed it yesterday evening, I put some leave-in conditioner on, and then I just let it dry on its own. And then this morning I just again put some of that banana food deep conditioner in, and that can be used on wet hair or on dry. So I just smoothed that through my hands and then just sort of dabbed it onto my hair, concentrating on the ends, and then I just put it up just because it looks better being up than sort of hanging all sort of straggly around my neck when it's, you know, quite damp. So yeah, that's where I am again with it. And whereas I thought I was just going in one direction, it's sort of taken a few steps back, but annoying. But I'll just sort of have to keep going with it and keep on using all of the products that I know are helping. But if you're sort of going through anything similar, either with your iron or with your hair, or any sort of journey that you're on, there can be little setbacks, but just keep going, because, you know, you will get there eventually. So on that note, let's pop out into the garden. I must fill up the bird's water bowl again. But I just wanted to say that I saw a little nuthatch on this tree through the kitchen window the other evening. And we haven't got any feed out at the moment. I wanted to take those feeders down actually. They look a bit messy when there's nothing in them. But I'm just sort of thinking about when we do start putting things in them again for autumn. But I saw that lovely nuthatch. And if you don't know what they look like, I always think they're rather like a sort of kingfisher. They've got that lovely sort of blue and orange colouring to them. Really pretty birds. And it was sort of hopping about at the bottom of the tree, and they sort of go up and down the tree rather like a sort of tree creeper, but they're lovely birds. I did go and get my big camera hoping to get a nice shot of it, but of course by the time I come back through it had gone. But I keep my eye out for that. I might just sort of put a few nuts down on the ground to hopefully entice it back. But what I actually wanted to show you then is those cut-ins that I took. So they're on the table back here, and look at the salvia. It's already got a flower coming on it, so they're taking really nicely. The sedum are going well as well, they're growing a bit. And the lavender, one stem doesn't look as though it's actually taken, and that's why it's always a good idea to take more than one, because obviously they're not all going to take. And then I've just got one piece of phlox in here, and that one's gone, and the reason for that is because on the CCTV camera I saw a squirrel digging in here, and it dug. It must have buried something in there previously. It dug, and then it just sat in the pot squashing down all of my cut-ins while it ate whatever it got out of there. So that was a bit annoying. But I do want to do some more cut-ins, and I'm actually just going to try and give everything a go and see what takes. But let me just show you, look at these beautiful little roses on there. Aren't they lovely? And this is looking really nice as well, this purple that we have in the watering can there. I really like that, those beautiful little flowers. I've still got those grasses to go in, must get those in. It's just because I'm not sure yet where to put them. I hope that wind isn't blocking my voice again. That lovely black grass as well. And then in here, these have just started flowering. But we're also getting some very naughty deers in the garden at the moment as well, and they've actually pulled up quite a few plants out of some of these pots. And you might remember that I had these pots, that's the washing machine emptying, either side of what we call our coffee house, but I moved them all here because I thought if they were closer to the house they would stop eating things out of them, but they still are. And look, you can see they've even dug some things out. That's like a plug there. I don't think there's a root in it, else I could put it back in another pot. But we did read that they don't eat any type of salvia, but this, they ate all of the flowers off. This was those lovely sort of tall purple flowers. They don't like this, so that's quite good. I might get some more of that for the borders, or even take it out of some of these pots. But yeah, they've dug into that one and that one. I can't remember what was in them even now. So it is a little bit annoying. They did start to eat some of the flowers on Matt's geranium down by his shop there, so he sort of blocked that off with a couple of chairs and a wheelbarrow, so that they can't get to it. But what we need to do is find things that they really don't like, and it's normally things that have got a bit of a scent, or you know, a strong scent. So we know they don't like the sedum, they don't like those, I can't remember the name of them at the moment. We have read they don't like hydrangeas, but they have been nibbling the heads off of those. They don't like those shrubs, or the rudbeckia. They don't like the black lace, or the lavender, the peach coloured salvia. They don't like the verbena. So we're getting sort of a good list of plants that we know they don't like because they never actually touch. But there are ones that it does say online they don't like, but that they actually do. So if you know of any that they definitely do not like, and you have sort of experience of having them in your garden and you know that they don't go anywhere near it, then do let us know in the comment section, because we are actually finding that what it says online that deer don't like, they actually do. So we're going to have to do a little bit more experimenting, but certainly the things that do have quite a high scent, they don't seem to like the mint, the lavender, rosemary and things like that. So that is proving to be true, but other plants, like I say that it says online they don't like, they do actually nibble at. And I think that's when there's no other food about. They just sort of venture out. I suppose it's like us, you know, not liking something and just eating it because we're hungry. It's probably that sort of thing. But yeah, that's a little problem that we're having at the moment. But we are only sort of getting the one deer in the garden at the moment, and occasionally the male will come in to look for her. But we don't have like the 3 of them that we used to have in the garden, and I don't think then that we used to get this problem as much, so I'm not quite sure why it's happening so much now. But yeah, just looking forward to having another day out in the garden, and Matt and I have said we'll have like a full day and we'll film it all, tidying up, doing some more propagating, putting some more plants in, perhaps pop along to the garden centre, and we'll do that as a separate video as well that will go on a Saturday morning. So yeah, look out for that one as well. So it's the final woody walk of the week, and it's another lovely morning. It's a bit hotter than it was the other day when we walked this way. You can feel it really sort of breaking through the trees, but it's nice and shady in here. Now I just tried to do, I'll put it in anyway, even though I know it was a little bit jumpy, but those shots where I'm sort of filming as I'm walking along, and we really want to get a GoPro so we can do more sort of shots like that, so that you actually feel as though you're walking along with us. But like I say, I will put that in, but apologies that it was a little bit jumpy. I've got this sort of function on my phone camera where I can do an AF lock, but I think that's just if you're recording like still, and if there are things moving then it doesn't try to sort of refocus, but it doesn't work when you're walking along. It does just sort of keep trying to refocus, especially if you move the camera even a slight bit. So I mean, better filming equipment is definitely something we want to you know, purchase and use for future videos, but at the moment it's going to just have to be me trying to keep as still as possible. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed those little sort of walking along bits. Woody's coming back. What is it you want? A biscuit? Came for his biscuit. Yeah, I thought it was our dentist appointments today, but they're not actually until Monday. Got the dates mixed up, so that's a bit of a relief. So when I get home, I'll have breakfast, and I've got a few admin-y bits to catch up on, and then I should be in my craft room for the rest of the day. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm going to leave this one here now. I think it's about 45 minutes, so I'm sure you're fed up with me by now. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope it hasn't felt a bit too bitty. It has been another busy week. I'm actually feeling it now. I'm starting to feel really tired. But yeah, we'll have a restful weekend. And yeah, I'll be back again on Thursday with Matt in Coffee and Chat, and then again next Monday. So have a lovely week, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
Julie.